Go Jackets.
What is going on, everyone, and welcome to WreckTalk. And today we're going to talk about some roster recruiting portal. It's absolutely insane. Just like the season was an emotional roller coaster, so is like the roster management and recruiting cycle for 2024. So there was at one point this season we were, I think, 23rd overall recruiting class on Rivals. That has now slipped to 43rd. We've had some key losses we're going to go through. Greco was a huge loss. We've got 10 players now who've left in the portal. It started basically with 5. It's doubled now to 10. We're bringing in, 6 players in the portal. We've had 12 decommits in the cycle. Some of those are painful. 2 of the portal players are pretty painful. We'll talk about it. And the video is not clickbait. I am really, really worried about, in particular, this defense for next year. Still don't know about coaching. We haven't made any coaching hires that I can recall or that I've read. I've been a little bit out of the loop. But it doesn't really matter if we're going to retain share, who's going to be DC, if we don't get some players in. So let's take a look at the players leaving. These are the 10. It started really with Kennard, Johnson, Felix, and Green. And really I lumped Juju Lewis in there. They all entered the portal on the 4th. Juju Lewis entered on the 5th. 2 of those players, obviously Kyle Kennard started. And Keenan Johnson was a major contributor at cornerback on defense, made some pretty big plays for us. Kyle Kennard is now going to South Carolina, and that one's kind of head-scratching to me. Or not head-scratching, but I don't know that was the best decision for him. He obviously went out there to get a bag, get paid, took official visit to Florida State, and it turns out the market said he was worth whatever South Carolina could pay him, which I'm not throwing shade at South Carolina, but probably not what he was looking for when he entered the portal. And look, the portal is insane right now. I think it was Florida State's backup running back, and I could have the numbers off, but he demanded, and make no mistake, these are demands. This isn't a negotiation, really. $500,000 to stay at Florida State, which is more than the starting running back who is returning next year was making. It's crazy. So I hope the best for Kyle Kennard at South Carolina. South Carolina seems like they got a lot of problems, though I can't really point fingers at the moment, though we avoided going 3-9. So Keenan Johnson, he's going to Utah now. I assume that was a money decision as well. Anytime, players that are getting a ton of playing time and or starters transfer, it makes me think it has to be money. Although McCord from Ohio State transfers to Syracuse, which is just like, what? Anyways, but those 2 hurt. And this is part of what really has me concerned. We're now losing 2 key defensive players. Now, Jamie Felix, he didn't play very much. Seems like he got kind of shoved to the bottom of the depth chart. I hate it. I think he's a talented running back. It's not, and anytime I say these aren't huge losses, I'm just saying with the team needs. What are the team needs right now? Number 1, first and foremost, we need linebackers. Second, we need defensive linemen. Third, probably tight end or cornerback from what we're losing. I mean, look, we're losing a net loss of 3 linebackers. We're bringing 1 in, and Andre White, Paul Mola, and Braylon Oliver are all leaving. So we were already struggling mightily at linebacker, and now we're even thinner at linebacker. So Wing Green, offensive tackle. For all these offensive linemen that are transferring out, I am assuming that is playing time. That makes sense to me. We've brought in some we'll go over, but really good. The whole starting crew of offensive linemen are coming back in. We've had some key pickups. Only one we're losing is Scaglione because he graduated. This could be an absolutely nasty offensive line again next year. Juju Lewis, another kid, I don't think I ever heard his name called. I don't know if he has any stats. Wish him the best. This is probably the second, not even probably, the second best position group or deepest position group we have other than offensive line is wide receiver. Tyler Gibson, I have a typo there, sorry. Tyler Gibson, another offensive lineman. Bryson Dixon and Malcolm Pugh, both defensive linemen transferring out, and linebacker Ashton Heflin. To me, that's killer. Now, I don't know what's going on with this. I know we brought in, God, now I can't remember his name, our defensive line coach. It'll come to me in a second. I'm kind of scatterbrained at the moment. Marco Coleman. Marco Coleman. I know we brought him in really in part because he's supposed to be an out-of-this-world or really good recruiter at the defensive line. Maybe way too optimistically, I'm thinking this is to make room for more talented defensive linemen that are coming in. However, it hadn't happened yet. If we don't bring in at least 2 key defensive linemen in the portal, spoiler alert, we have 0 right now. I don't know that we'll win more games than we did this year. For us to get better next year, win more games than we did this year, next year, with a tougher schedule next year, we have to have key pickups at linebacker and defensive line. We've really, in my opinion, in that front, only made 1 key pickup. That's who we're losing. See who we're bringing in. We got 6. Biggest one, Jackson Hamilton, rated 85 as a transfer, linebacker out of Louisville. Hopefully he can come in and make a big impact, be a starter, and start moving us back into the linebacker play that we're more accustomed to at Georgia Tech. Second key pickup, Warren Burrell, cornerback out of Tennessee, rated an 86 as a transfer. We're going to need help everywhere on defense. I mean, the focus for me is on linebacker and defensive line. But we're losing kids in the defensive backfield too. From what I understand and have heard and have read, Warren Burrell is a very, very talented defensive back. Injuries have prevented him from seeing the field more. Now, our third key need, I think I said it, is probably tight end. We're losing 2 in Dylan Leonard and Luke Benson. I'm not here to throw shade. Tight ends have been a work in progress for some time at Tech now. So it is good to see us bring in 2. The first one that I saw come in out of the portal, signed Jackson. Is it Hawks or Halls? Do I have another typo? What's wrong with me? I think it is Halls. Yeah, Jackson Halls. Rated an 85. A kid out of Yale, had 4 touchdowns last year at Yale. Has had a ton of starts. I'm assuming he probably has 1 year of eligibility left. But he led the team in touchdown receptions with 4 touchdowns. So I don't know. I'll have to see with him. I mean, last year we bring in Jackson Long. Now, he was a younger kid that didn't have any experience. It'll be interesting to see if we were able to put some muscle on him. Kid that came out of South Florida, and maybe he can be a contributor. Other tight end we bring in Rylan Godey. Now, this is a kid that originally committed to UGA. Look, UGA had the deepest tight end room in the country for some time with the Washington kid, and obviously Brock Bowers, thank God. He's going to be gone after this year. Fantastic player. Godey just wasn't able to see the field. Then he transfers to Mississippi State for playing time, and obviously Mississippi State has a coaching change. They fire the coach they hired after – God, I can't remember anyone's name now. Mike Leach is passing. They don't even give him a full year, so he gets a free transfer. He'll be coming to Tech. That's the one I'm more excited about. He's rated a 92 actually on here for incoming transfers. I think I have him rated wrong. Between him and Brett Seether, we could see, a lot better passing or receiving stats out of the tight ends. Now, as far as Saeed Gibbs, he's a kid out of Rhode Island. I saw he's not even rated. Don't know anything about him, so I don't really have anything to say about it. Now, I told you we've had 12 decommits. Let me move my face over here. In the 2024 cycle. One of the first ones was Jakari Williams. This was a kid that was originally rated a 4-star. He might still be on some other recruiting services. This is one, when we talked about it on the live shows, it seemed like we reevaluated him, looked at or further evaluated him. Seems like we parted ways with him, or we pulled the offer. He then ends up committing to Syracuse, which to me further, like in my mind, confirms we probably pulled the offer. Why would you want to go all the way to Syracuse? First of all, why would you want to go to New York? It's an awful place. Anyways, not, in my opinion, really losing anything with him there. We're bringing in 2 really good quarterbacks. Aaron Philo, who just broke Trevor Lawrence's all-time passing record in the state of Georgia for yardage. He, I want to be careful how I say this. He plays at Prince Avenue, and so did the kid that just committed to Kentucky out of the portal for Georgia, Brock Bowers. My criticism of Brock Bowers is I don't really know how good he is. The level of play at Prince Avenue, private Christian school, doesn't mean they're not good players. There's a little bit more to prove for me with that, though I do think he will be a good one. And then Graham Knowles, 6'7" kid, absolutely enormous, big arm. So we're going to be okay at quarterback. Now, the absolute killer decommit, there's a few. Trajan Greco has like 20 offers, ton of Power 5 offers. Seems like he's going to go to Missouri. In fact, I don't know when he's announcing. I think it's sometime soon. Kid out of Mill Creek. Not far from where I grew up. Hate to see it. I don't think he'll sign with Tech unless we can come up with some really attractive NIL offering for him. If he was going to commit to Tech, he would have not decommitted from Tech. C.J. Jackson, defensive end, edge rusher. This is one, he was rated a 4-star at the time. It hurts. He ended up committing to LSU. Really weird. A lot of weird things being said about that. I'll leave it at that. If you're in the know, you're in the know. Duke Watson, running back, ended up decommitting. He was a 4-star at the time, commits to Louisville. We are going to need a running back, I think. I think we are going to need to have one. And I agree with Tantor from Coach and Crew Show. We need a big bruising back to come in and a guy that can get you 2 yards when everyone knows you're going to run the ball. Kobe Young hurts. Believe he got offered by Alabama and some other big schools, wide receiver. Though we are deep at wide receiver, but you always hate to lose a talented recruit. And we've got two defensive linemen that decommit. I don't know if these were mutual or not. William DePepe ended up committing to Indiana. Marcus Downs, I don't know if he's committed anywhere yet. I'd have to look, but I'm just looking at this. A lot of decommits, portal players out, defensive linemen, losing linebackers, not seeing us sign, a ton of them. I think it's cause for alarm. I really do. I'm looking at this thinking, what makes me think our defense is going to be any better next year? What can I point to? The other ones, not much of note. Anyways, we have 12 decommits on the year. Commits. I told you we had slid to 43rd in the national recruiting rankings. 22 commits. Big ones. I'm just going to go over the key commits. Troy Stevenson, cornerback, 4-star. Kid's going to be a baller. I've seen tape on him. Really talented kid. Luke Harpering, who someone adamantly corrected me as to not giving his father his due. His father was an absolute stud basketball player for Tech under Bobby Crimmins. I expect the same from him. The only other offers he has are from like Ivy League schools. So I don't know if he's really concerned with going to an academic juggernaut, and other teams haven't offered because of that. But I think he's going to be a really good player for us. Good to see us getting another tight end in. Isaiah Canyon, another kid that has a ton of Power 5 offers, 4-star wide receiver. He'll be coming in, though, into an already packed wide receiver room. Recently, we got this kid, I don't know how you pronounce his name, Uchi Ilo or Io. I don't think he started playing football until he was like 15 or 16 even. Seems like a kid that just has a lot of natural raw talent. I think he's a kid like from where is he from? Not from the United States, but a lot of those players that come in from like Europe or other countries, like I'm thinking of Adam Godsis. There's a like numerous of them that have been really successful at Tech. Thank God, defensive lineman that we have signed. Jordan Boyd, linebacker. It's going to be key to keep him. The biggest one on the board here as far as team needs and what we need is Taj Butler. We've got to keep him. This is a kid that our special teams coach has been taking a hand in recruiting out of Louisiana. We need to hold on to him. And he could even get some reps this coming up year. I don't even know that we'll redshirt him with the needs that we have at linebacker. 2 more defensive linemen. Don't sleep on Landon Marshall. This is a kid we beat out Auburn to get the commit, rated an 85, and also Treshawn Griffin. I've seen, though, Landon Marshall looks like an absolute stud. We need to hold on to both of those. Now, we got 3 defensive linemen leaving. We're signing 3 in the recruiting class, but we got none in the portal. We need at least 2 defensive linemen that can come in, make an impact this year out of the portal. And we probably need at least 1 more linebacker, if not 2. We need 2 linebackers out of the portal, honestly. Kids that can come in, play, and make plays. Because Edinoza Rubin, like at defensive line, kid that came out of Clemson. He was a 4-star recruit, supposed to be all-world. I haven't heard – has he got – I think he has, 1 or 2 tackles on the year. I don't know what happened with him. But we got to get the defense figured out, guys. Again, I say looking at this, I don't know what makes me think the defense is going to be any better just looking on kind of some roster management skills. I am praying – Santa Claus, please bring me defensive linemen and linebackers in the portal for Christmas. I won't ask for anything again. You guys have a good one.